This here's from Marilyn Manson Uncanceled from around April 2nd, 2024. It's called How I Know That No One Really Supports Marilyn Manson's Accusers. There's a theme here that says Evan Rachel Wood lost her dreams. Her grand scheme in life was hindered because of the trauma she faced. But we know, by taking a quick look at her bio, that she moved on to be pretty successful and had a good chance after Manson. I think she was on True Blood on HBO or something, and then Westworld and some other stuff. She had a chance to totally move forward. The fact that she didn't get bigger after that, that's on her. She never made it to a blockbuster movie level or a major Hollywood production level, but she had a good chance at it. She was on HBO, or still is. I'm not exactly sure. I don't follow that show. But the point is, it would seem after she dated Manson, things started to look up. But anyway, let's see what we got. Today, March 31st, is the final performance for Evan Rachel Wood as Audrey in the off-Broadway production of The Little Shop of Horrors. And to announce her final performance and bid farewell, Evan shared some final thoughts with us on Instagram. In her message, she tells us how it was a childhood dream of hers to perform on stage in New York, but then her life was derailed by trauma and tragedy and going to Disneyland with her parents. And it seemed my dreams were stolen. What exactly is she referring to? And why the heck would she need to say that, man? Above everything, how unprofessional are these people? People like her. People like the Flappy Fish Market. Above all else, think of how unprofessional that is. They're there to do a job. They're getting paid by corporations, big venues, and they bring this shit into it. Well, thank you to all my fans and the company who's making me richer than like 95% of the world or whatever. But you know what? I had this terrible trauma. I was really derailed. I should be doing even better. The audacity, man. If you're not getting nauseous from it, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just different. The first time Evan was offered to perform on a New York stage was for the 2011 Broadway production of Spider-Man, Turn Off the Dark, but because it was delayed, it created a scheduling conflict for Evan, so she bowed out in March 2010, which was a few months into her engagement with Marilyn Manson. Is Evan now blaming Manson for stealing her dream? Her second chance to star on a New York stage came 14 years later with Little Shop of Horrors, and in between that time, Evan has starred in a number of movies, a successful TV show, I think two, and even other stage productions, including her stage performance with her bands, among other things, keeping herself very busy. Nothing seems to have derailed her dreams from being fulfilled, except perhaps for opportunities. Yeah, that's what the facts are. And he quotes her, "I clawed my way back out and made it back to where I belong. Don't ever give up. You can come back and take your place in the light," says Evan. These people try to be someone who had to fight their way back. It was so hard for them. When the fact is, well, they're attractive women, and probably due to that, they get their foot in the door a little easier than some people. Look, rock stars have stories for a reason. There's a lot of rock stars that say they came from poor backgrounds and then made it rich. I'm sure they're not all lying. But if you know Jewel, she lived in a car, she couldn't make it, and then she got famous. Bruce Springsteen lived in a warehouse. He was poor, it was dusty and dirty, and he fought his way to success. It just sounds good. But the point is, a lot of rock stars have this story. I'm sure they're not all lying, but some of them are exaggerating. Like we see here, and I think Evan Rachel Wood's taken that playbook, as some people like to say, and using it. She said she was crucified and left for dead. Those are some harsh words, man. Crucified and left for dead? By who? Obviously, the implication is Marilyn Manson, that crazy, creepy guy who makes those scary albums, must have done it. They say there's a photo choice that she showcases with a quote that says, "I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist, so I've got a black eye and my arms in a cast." Metaphoric. What's she trying to say? Manson Uncancelled also phrases this as her comeback story. Everyone wants a comeback story. It makes it more interesting. It makes you have a little bit more sympathy, possibly, when you shouldn't. You know, when someone makes it big, they've got millions of fans, millions of dollars. Usually, you don't have to feel bad for them. Usually, okay, they made it. But if they have this story about their past that was so hard, they could maybe have their cake and eat it too. They could maybe have the fame and attention and fortune and things and get some sympathy. This is why I think they make up these stories. This is why Evan Rachel Wood wants this horrible, horrific past. Anyway, that's the most of it that I get. Shout out to Marilyn Manson Uncancelled on X as well. Does a great job. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. We're done here for now. See you next time.